Hi, welcome back. I have a new understanding of my OCD, okay? So for this video, I've recorded for like 7 to 8 times. And sometimes it's the hair, sometimes it's I said something wrong. They could all be edited, but I really want it to be one holistic clip that flows. So here we go again. Today we'll talk about something that's really hardcore, okay? It's called first principles thinking. I believe it's important to put it out there for people to at least hear about it so they can think if they want to use it or not, to expose them to it, okay? So being able to understand it or even apply it in your life, you can potentially live a more fulfilled and better life. I'm not telling you what kind of life you should or should not live. It's your life, right? But it's just a way of thinking. All right, okay, so let's do it. First, what is first principles thinking? It is a problem-solving approach that breaks down complex problems into their most basic truth and then rebuilds solutions from the ground up. Instead of relying on assumptions, analogies, or existing methods, it forces you to ask a question. What are the undeniable truths that we know? This approach is often used in science, engineering, business, and decision making. The origin of first principles thinking. The concept of first principles thinking dates all the way back to ancient Greece, particularly to Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers and logicians. Aristotle introduced the idea of first principles in his works, like Metaphysics and Posterior Analytics. He described first principles as a foundational truth that cannot be deduced from anything else. In logic and philosophy, he argued that all knowledge must be built upon these fundamental, self-evident truths. His definition of first principles is the first basis from which a thing is known. Now let's talk about how first principles spread and evolved, okay? First, it was originated from Greek philosophy, and then it goes into scientific method. Thinkers like Descartes and Newton applied first principles reasoning to physics, logic, and philosophy. The scientific method is built on first principles. It needs to be testable and verifiable truth rather than assumptions. Then it goes into engineering and innovation area. Scientists like Einstein and Richard Feynman used first principles in physics to discover new theories. First principles thinking led to some major breakthroughs like computers, the internet, and space travel. And then in recent years, in modern days, Naval Ravikant and modern applications. He is an amazing guy. You can Google him. You can search him. He is awesome. Naval Ravikant, a philosopher, entrepreneur, often discuss first principles thinking in business, personal growth, and decision making. He emphasizes how removing societal conditioning and questioning assumptions can help people think independently and create wealth. And then finally, it comes to Elon Musk and his business innovation, okay? Elon Musk frequently credits first principles thinking for Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink's innovation. Instead of assuming rockets must be expensive, Elon Musk broke down materials and rebuilt a cheaper solution himself. That is amazing. All right, if you want to apply these principles into your life, what are the key steps? There are 3. The first one is identify and question assumptions. Ask yourself, what do I think is true? Is it actually true? Example, if everyone says electric cars must be expensive, challenge that assumption, okay? Step 2, break down the problem to fundamental truth. Reduce the problem to basic, undeniable facts. facts in physics, math, or fundamental laws. Example, instead of assuming batteries are expensive, ask, what are batteries made of? Step 3. Rebuild a new solution from scratch. Use the fundamental truth to find new possibilities that others may have overlooked. Example, Elon Musk realized that battery materials are very cheap, only expensive because of inefficient manufacturing. So Tesla innovated on cheaper battery production instead of assuming high costs. So instead of buying from other manufacturing places, he made his own, which is awesome and amazing, and massively reduced the cost of electric cars, right? So that most people can afford it nowadays. So how does Naval use first principles? I'm so excited to talk about this because I'm a fangirl of Naval. So first, he talked about wealth creation. Instead of just working hard, you can ask, what are the fundamental ways wealth is built? So his answer is leverage, ownership, and compounding knowledge. About happiness, instead of assuming success brings happiness, ask what truly leads to contentment. So his answer is internal peace, reducing desires, and controlling thoughts. And Naval also very into learning. Instead of memorizing facts, he asks, what are the core ideas that shape the world? And his answer is mental models, game theory, and foundational knowledge. So Naval frequently says, if you can't break it down to first principles, you don't really understand it. He also says, naming something is not understanding. Okay, that's very interesting to think about. So why first principles thinking matters today then? It helps escape societal conditioning, which we all experienced. So instead of accepting things from others, we are more creatively thinking about things in the original way. Okay, so the second one is leads to original ideas, which is also relevant to the first one. The third one is why is it important, is essential for startups. If you want to start a company or you want to be an entrepreneur, create your own thing, that's very essential. It's also essential for science and personal growth. I hope it helps you understand first principles thinking better, and hopefully you can use it in your life, or at least you know the idea of it. Love you. Thank you for listening till now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.